Yo, what's going on you guys, Spidey Cosplay here and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be ranking all of the Insomniac Spider-Man games. I decided to go back and play all of the games in the timeline order and see which one is the best. I know I haven't uploaded in a month and that was just because I was simply just taking a break really, but whilst I was gone the subscriber count has really gone up. We're at 326 subscribers as I'm recording this and that's absolutely insane, so please consider subscribing so I can get up to 400. But without further ado, let's begin. So at the 6th spot we have Spider-Man Miles Morales. Some of you might be surprised that I put this game at the bottom of the list, but I'll explain that in a minute. First of all, I like what they did with the snow. I don't think we've actually seen snow in a Spider-Man game before ever, and it was nice to see in Spider-Man Miles Morales. The gameplay's also better than the first Marvel Spider-Man game, and I love how there's also air tricks whilst you're web swinging. The combat in this game's also great too, and I love the Venom ability. Alright, now let's move on to the story. The villains in the story are Roxxon and the Tinkerer. I talk about why the Tinkerer sucks in one of my other videos, so go check that out if you haven't already. But the reason why I don't like the Tinkerer is because she's got a terrible story arc for one, and two, she's really dumb. Not to mention that Simon Krieger's barely a character. This Topher Grace looking arse basically just sits on his arse the whole game and does absolutely nothing. I would have liked to have a boss fight with him where he would have built a giant mechanical suit and you would have had to take him down with your Venom abilities to defeat him. However, I do like the Prowler in this game, he's awesome. But Spider-Man Miles Morales, it's just not the best story in my opinion. In 5th place we have the Heist DLC in Marvel Spider-Man. This is where we got the first introduction of Black Cat in this DLC, and yeah, Insomniac did a really good job with her. A very good job. We also have Screwball in these 3 DLCs, and everyone finds her annoying, but she's meant to be annoying in this game, so I guess Insomniac did a good job with her, I guess. It was a bit odd that Black Cat lied about having a son in this game, but then again, Spidey and Black Cat, did it on the rooftop. But the DLC literally ends on a bang, literally. Overall though, I do think that the heist was pretty decent in my opinion. In 4th place, we have the Turf Wars DLC. I like this opening a lot because it feels like you're in an actual war. Because you're fighting a bunch of hammerhead thugs outside of the building and the other Marcia families and whatnot. And then you've also got good policemen who are trying to fight for what's right, and even the policeman with the Spider-Man watch, he was a wholesome guy. But it also gives you the idea that Spider-Man can't save everyone. It's a good setup too for Yuri to become Wraith. But then they did that whole thing when we thought Yuri actually killed Hammerhead, but then one of the mobs was disguised as a paramedic and he revived Hammerhead. But he was in a body bag and he was probably presumed dead for half an hour or an hour as they were driving him to the hospital, and you would think he would have severe problems, especially if he was presumed dead. But overall, Turf Wars is a good DLC and I enjoyed playing it. In 3rd place we have the Silver Lining DLC. This DLC actually gives us a good story in my opinion. One of the main characters in this DLC is none other than Silver Sable. I love the dynamic between the two. Spider-Man's always joking around and he's trying to give high fives to her and stuff, and she's just not having any of it, and it's quite good comedy at the end of the day. The one thing that confuses me about this DLC is really Hammerhead. The last time we saw him, he was in a body bag, and there was only his head and a giant robot body. What the hell happened to him? It's quite bizarre, but also fun too in a way, especially the final boss fight. Overall though, I do think that this is the best DLC out of all 3 of the DLCs in my opinion. In second place we have Marvel's Spider-Man. Honestly, this game for us Spidey fans is just so special. I love what they did with Doc Ock in this game. His character arc in this game is just brilliant. The writing in this game just makes you care about the father and son relationship with Peter Parker and Otto Octavius. It just makes it even more tragic when he starts to go down that dark path and becomes Doc Ock. The game just does a really good job at showing us that when Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses. I also love how they brought in the Sinister Six, because there's a lot of Spider-Man's rogues gallery in this game. I think the saddest moment in the game for me is Aunt May's death. Peter had the anti-serum with him and he could have used it to save his dying aunt. But the problem is that if he used the anti-serum to save Aunt May, then they wouldn't have enough to produce more doses of the anti-serum to save the people of New York. So Peter, with the anti-serum, probably had to make the most hardest decision in his life. He still chose his responsibility over his selfishness, even when his arm was dying. Aunt May was a good person and she wanted to help everyone, really, and she was probably like a mother figure to Peter if you think about it. But this is a very emotional scene and it is very sad. In first place we have Marvel's Spider-Man 2. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you would know that I absolutely love this game and it is a masterpiece, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, you've got an explosive introduction to the game and you're literally fighting Sandman at the very start of the game. He's literally in his giant form and he's literally destroying the city. It's sick. I am aware that a lot of people don't like how the symbiote storyline was handled, that Insomniac didn't really did a good job with it, but I'm sorry, but I strongly disagree with that. Having Harry introduced as Agent Venom to then him passing on the symbiote to Peter, that's epic. Even Kraven the Hunter in this game, he's perfect. Kraven obviously wasn't going to be the big bad of this game because we were all waiting for Venom, and it was such a great idea of Insomniac for us to play as Venom so then we can be the ones to kill Kraven. I love how Kraven just didn't want to go out dying from his illness. He wanted to find an opponent that would be strong enough to kill him in a fight. I also love that at its core, like, Venom is Harry and he's Peter's best friend. Harry feels like he's been betrayed by Peter, and Peter, who has the symbiote with him, is refusing to give it back to his dying friend, and that's what ends up leading to Peter's greatest failure. Miles also learns that Peter's still grieving after the death of Aunt May. Peter feels like that it was his fault and that everything that's gone wrong in his life has always been his fault. He's carrying the entire weight of the world on his shoulders and he feels like he's the only Spider-Man who can do all this. He hasn't been looking closely enough at how much Miles has taken up after him and how much Miles has learned from Peter and how ready Miles is to take care of the city all by himself. Peter also learns that Miles was able to reform one of his greatest villains. The web swinging speed has increased too, and that Peter's also got new air tricks too. There's also crimes where you can run into Miles, Agent Venom or Wraith. But yeah, to me, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is still a masterpiece in my heart. But yeah, you guys, that's the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed my ranking. This is my first time doing a ranking video as well, so it's quite different for the channel, but I thought it would be interesting, you know, of me giving my thoughts on what I think of each game. also feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section too. You don't have to agree with my tier list, and that's the fun part. You can have your own opinion on which Insomniac Spider-Man game is better, and that's completely normal. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Yankee with no brim!